Okay. In last class, we discussed the working principle of the transformer construction and its working, and by means of which how we can find the efficiency of the transformer. Is it works for DC or with DC or not? We discussed all of them, and we discussed briefly the losses in main important losses in transformers briefly. Okay, we will discuss in detail regarding the losses in transformer. Okay, of course, in ideal transformer there are no these losses. In ideal transformer there are no losses because efficiency is 100%. No. Okay, in general, in case of the ordinary transformers, which type of losses that arises, which type of losses occurs in the transformers, we have to discuss. So losses in transformers. Losses in transformers. Losses in a transformer. In transformer. First one, copper losses. Here, the actually across the primary coil, we supply some power. We give some power by electrical methods. That means we supply some or we give some energy to the primary coil of the transformer. That produces or that generates across the secondary coil. That generates across the secondary coil by mutual induction phenomena, and during that mutual induction phenomena, some energies are lost, energy losses in different ways. So that is, first one is copper losses. So in this copper losses, energy losses due to the resistance offered by the primary and secondary coils, because the primary and secondary coils made of the copper, insulated copper coils, they offer some resistance. Because of that resistance, heat energy is dissipated. Whenever the current passing through primary and secondary coil, then heat energy is dissipated. The formula for heat energy dissipated is I square RT. That's why some heat energy is dissipated. Due to that, some power losses in the primary and secondary coils. So here, this copper losses is the energy losses due to resistance offered by primary and secondary coils. Primary and secondary coils. Primary and secondary coils. Okay. Here, this loss can be reduced by using thick wire in primary and secondary coil. Here, in order to minimize these losses, whenever the coils are there, here the coils offer the resistance. Due to that, heat energy lost, or heat dissipated. The energy dissipated, not heat. That energy dissipated is emitted in the form of heat energy. That's why energy dissipated in any coil. Energy dissipated comma H is equal to energy dissipated in the primary coil or secondary coil. Energy dissipated in primary and secondary coil. Primary and secondary coil are H primary is equal to IP square RT, and in the secondary coil, heat energy produced or energy dissipated is IS square R, here RP, because resistance of the primary coil, here resistance of the secondary coil into T. The total total energy dissipated in the primary and secondary coils together is HV plus HS. Here, this energy dissipation or energy lost due to these copper losses can be minimized. These losses are nothing but copper losses. Because of the copper coil offers some resistance, this energy is dissipated in the form of heat energy. So these copper losses can be minimized by reducing the resistance. How we can, by reducing the resistance, how we can minimize the copper losses? Suppose if you take the primary or secondary coil, which is in the form of if you take thick wire, if you use the thick wire to construct the primary and secondary coils, to prepare the primary and secondary coils, thick wire means area of cross section is more. When area of cross section is more, whatever the resistance, resistance R is equal to rho L by A, rho L by A. If area of cross section is more, resistance will be less now. That's why by using the thick wires in the primary and secondary coils, this losses can be, this copper losses can be minimized. That is important point. So therefore, by using thick wires in the coils, in brackets low resistance, thick wires are having low resistance. By using thick wires in the coils, comma, copper losses can be minimized. Copper losses can be minimized. So this point is very, very important. Copper losses can be minimized by using the thick wires. With the help of this, we can prepare the primary and secondary coils. That is the first losses in the transformer. Okay, next. What is the next losses? Already I said briefly. Eddy current losses are there, no? Eddy current losses. Okay. So eddy current losses, second one. Eddy current losses. Whenever the current passing through the primary coil, magnetic field is developed inside the primary coil, and due to that magnetic field, magnetic flux is passing through the coil. As the primary coil and secondary coil both are wounded around the core of the transformer, due to that flux passing through that core of the transformer. Okay, suppose if you take the core of the transformer as the single rod without using the laminated plates, due to that more eddy currents are produced, and due to that more eddy currents, more energy is wasted, or more energy is wasted to produce the eddy currents. Okay, due to that also heat energy is generated there. Due to the eddy currents passing through the core of the transformer, some energy is produced. So due to the change of flux, eddy currents formed inside the core cause energy loss. To reduce this loss, laminated core to be used. Already I said this point. Okay, so here due to the change in flux, eddy currents are formed. Eddy currents are formed inside the core, causes energy loss. Inside the core cause energy loss. So this eddy current losses can be minimized with the help of the laminated core. This eddy current losses can be minimized by using laminated core. So this point is also very, very important. How eddy currents can be minimized? By using the laminated core, eddy current losses can be minimized. Eddy current losses means heat energy produced there. In the core part also heat energy is produced. That energy losses are nothing but eddy current losses. Okay, that can be minimized with the help of the laminated core. There is one more loss. Next, flux leakage. This is the flux leakage. So loss due to the flux leakage. Here, loss due to the flux means already yesterday when I drawn the diagram, at the time I said, whenever the coils are wounded exactly at the opposite sides of the rectangular laminated core, due to that, as the laminated core made of material with more permeability, that's why generally whatever the flux passing through the primary coil, the same flux will pass through secondary coil without leakage. In such a way, we have taken in case of ideal transformer. But definitely some leakage may be there. Some magnetic line suppose maybe comes out from the core part. Due to that, flux leakage is there. In order to prevent the flux leakage, suppose if the coil is wounded, the secondary coil is wounded around the primary coil, or primary coil is wounded around the secondary coil. Due to that, whatever the flux, suppose if you keep the secondary coil inside the primary coil, then whatever the flux through the primary coil, the same flux will passing through the secondary coil also, as it is inserted inside it. In such case, by doing so, we can minimize the flux leakage. That's why flux leakage can be flux leakage. So loss due to the flux here, this is the loss due to the flux leakage. So this can be minimized, can be prevented if secondary coil is wounded. Secondary coil is wounded or around the primary coil, and primary coil is secondary coil is kept inside the primary coil, whatever it may be. So here, flux leakage, energy lost due to flux leakage. Flux leakage can be prevented by keeping primary coil inside, or primary coil winding around the, by keeping primary coil inside the secondary coil, or secondary coil winding around the primary coil. So by keeping the primary coil or you write like this, prevented by keeping or by winding secondary coil secondary coil over the primary coil. Energy lost due to flux leakage can be prevented by winding the secondary coil over the primary coil. You see here, suppose this is the primary, this is the primary coil, or you say this is the secondary coil. Secondary coil is wounded around the primary coil. This is the primary coil. So this is primary. This is secondary. Secondary coil, primary coil. You see, secondary coil is wounded around the primary coil. When you produce the energy, or when you supply the electric current, alternating current, when you pass the alternating current through the primary coil, as it is kept inside the secondary coil, whatever the flux passing through primary coil, that is totally passing through secondary coil also. No? That's why in this way, whatever the flux produced in the primary coil, the same flux will be inside the secondary coil also. In this way, we can prevent the flux leakage. That's why there is no energy loss due to flux leakage. There is no flux leakage. That's why there is no magnetic potentiality lost due to the flux leakage. So in this way, we can prevent the loss of flux or leakage of the flux. That is one more loss.
Sir, heading, sir.
Enama?
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, next, fourth one, hysteresis loss. Actually, we know the primary coil is wounded primary coil or secondary coil that is wounded around the core. Primary coil, secondary coil, they are wounded around the core like this. Okay. Here, this is made of laminated core. That core is made of soft iron, etc. I said. Suppose if the core is made with other than iron, soft iron, if the core is made with any other material, permeability will be less. Okay. In such case, here actually, whenever you pass the electric current through this one, here it is the primary coil, primary or secondary coil, whatever it may be, it is the coil, primary or secondary coil. When electric current passing through the primary coil or secondary coil, then due to that, here, suppose if the current, electric current passing through the coil in one direction, then here this core part gets magnetized, because core part is the ferromagnetic material. Core part is the ferromagnetic material. Whenever the current here, when you made the current to pass through the coil here, no doubt inside the coil magnetic connection is developed like this. It is the induction coil, it is just like a choke coil. Okay, it is the induction coil. Whenever the current passing through the coil in one direction, definitely in one direction magnetic connection is developed. Suppose for first half cycle of the input AC, suppose the current flowing through the coil in one direction, magnetic connection is produced in one direction. Due to that, as the magnetic connection inside the coil is say in this direction, due to that, all the molecular magnets inside the core part gets magnetized and all are oriented in this direction, so that this end of the core part acquires north pole, this acquires the south pole. But whenever after completion of the first half cycle, whenever negative half cycle comes, then immediately the current will be reversed. The direction of the current passing through the coil will be reversed. Magnetic connection will be reversed. Immediately, all the molecular magnets or atomic magnets inside this core will be turned from this direction to opposite direction. In order to turn the molecular magnets inside the core part exactly to the opposite direction, definitely some energy is needed. That energy is taken from the magnetic potential energy only, and that magnetic potential energy makes all the elementary magnets or atomic magnets turned along the direction of the magnet field now. Okay, that means in this direction for first half cycle, suppose if the core part is magnetized in this direction, for the negative half cycle, the same core part becomes demagnetized in this direction and again magnetized in this direction. This process of magnetization and demagnetization is called hysteresis. The process of magnetization and demagnetization is called hysteresis. Because of process of magnetization and demagnetization, some energy is wasted to orient, to turn the molecular magnets inside the core part. That is the hysteresis loss. Among the ferromagnetic materials or ferromagnetic substances, because the core is made of ferromagnetic material, no? So among the ferromagnetic material, the soft iron, when you prefer for core, it is in this soft iron, the hysteresis losses will be less. That means in case of soft iron, when magnetization and demagnetization both takes place, even then the energy lost will be less. That means it requires small amount of energy to turn or to orient the molecular magnets inside it. That's why energy losses will be less. Hysteresis loss will be less in case of soft iron. That's why we prepare the soft, that core part, laminated core with the soft iron, ferromagnetic material like soft iron only, to minimize the hysteresis loss. So to minimize hysteresis loss means magnetization, the process of magnetization and demagnetization is called hysteresis. Okay. Due to this, some energy is lost. Some energy is lost, called hysteresis losses. Hysteresis losses. To minimize this, core must be made of ferromagnetic material like soft iron. Ferromagnetic, I think you know different types of magnetic substances are there. Para, dia, ferro are there, no? Of course, different types are there. Two more types are also there. Anti-ferromagnetic substance, anti-ferrimagnetic substance, like that. Okay, here ferromagnetic material. So made of ferromagnetic material like soft iron. So to minimize this, core must be made of ferromagnetic material like soft iron. So to minimize the hysteresis loss, we can use the core part must be made of soft iron. Okay, to minimize this loss, core must be made of soft iron. That is important. It is the hysteresis loss. Okay, next, in order to prevent the copper losses at the place of the primary coil and secondary coil, we have to use the choke coil. Choke coil means, what is the choke coil? Already I said yesterday, I think. Choke coil. Tell me.
Very
High
less resistance,
self-inductance
sir.
and low resistance.
Okay. Here, whenever the coils are made of choke coils, which are having high self-inductance and low resistance, in such case, we can minimize some energy losses like copper losses. That's why primary coils and secondary coils are made of choke coils. Choke coil is the inductive coil of high inductance and low resistance. Okay. Right. This is about the losses. Suppose if you take same voltage here, if you take the DC voltage and AC voltage having same voltage, same potential difference. You take the DC voltage 100 volt, AC voltage 100 volts, RMS voltage 100 volt, DC voltage is also 100 volts. We will get shock due to AC voltage more. What is the reason? మనం ఏసీ వోల్టేజ్ డిసి వోల్టేజ్ రెండు వల్ల షాక్ వస్తుంది. కాకపోతే మనం జనరల్ గా స్మాల్ బ్యాటరీస్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, అవి ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేసే ఈఎంఎఫ్స్ తక్కువ, జస్ట్ 2 వోల్ట్ 3 వోల్ట్ లైక్ దట్, 20 వోల్ట్ లైక్ దట్. ఒకవేళ డిసి వోల్ట్స్ కూడా ఎక్కువ వోల్ట్స్ తీస్తున్నాం అనుకోండి, 100 వోల్ట్ 200 వోల్ట్ లైక్ దట్, డెఫినెట్లీ డిసి కరెంట్ కూడా షాక్ కొడుతుంది మనకి. కాకపోతే మనం అబ్జర్వ్ చేసే డిసి కరెంట్ అంటే జస్ట్ 1.5 వోల్ట్ బ్యాటరీ, 2 వోల్ట్స్ బ్యాటరీ, వీటితో మనం కరెంట్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తాం కాబట్టి దాని వల్ల మనకు షాక్ ఏం రాదు. 20 వోల్ట్స్ బ్యాటరీ ఇటువంటి యూజ్ చేస్తాం కాబట్టి వాటి వల్ల షాక్ రాదు. అదే 100 వోల్ట్ డిసి బ్యాటరీ అట్లా తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, ఈవెన్ యూ టేక్ ద డిసి బ్యాటరీ యుల్ గెట్ షాక్. సపోజ్ 100 వోల్ట్ డిసి వోల్టేజ్ అండ్ 100 వోల్ట్స్ RMS voltage, both are taken together, then due to which the shock will be more effective.
AC voltage, sir.
AC voltage. 100 volt AC voltage.
100 volts AC నా 100 volts DC వల్ల మనకి షాక్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందా?
डीसी वाला सर, डीसी वाला सर, डीसी वाला सर,
एसी
डीसी सर,
మ్యూట్ చేయి. దేని వల్లమ్మా?
डीसी
AC, sir.
100 volts AC sir.
DC వల్ల. What is the reason, సాయి? What is the reason?
Sir,
So when you take the 100 volts RMS voltage, what is the peak value? Into √2.
sir.
అవునా? VRMS is equal to V0 by √2. So V0 is equal to 100 √2, no? √2 into VRMS into √2, no? That means 100 into √2. 1.4 into 100.
Yes, sir.
1.4 into 100 into 141.4 volt. DC వోల్ట్ అంటే 100 అది, కానీ AC వోల్ట్స్ కూడా 100 వోల్ట్స్ అంటే RMS వోల్టేజ్ 100 అనే అర్థం. RMS 100 అంటే మనకి 141.4 వోల్ట్స్ వస్తుంది. అంటే whenever the RMS voltage of AC and DC voltage, if both are same, due to which electrical signal, we will get more effect, we will be shocked more, అంటే due to AC voltage only. Because RMS voltage is 100 means the peak voltage is 141.4. పీక్ వోల్టేజ్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి ఆ పీక్ వోల్టేజ్ మనం రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటాం కదా. DC వోల్టేజ్ అయితే 100, AC వోల్టేజ్ అయితే 141 రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటాం మనం, 141.4. That's why we will get more influenced, more affected with the AC only, not with the DC. కానీ డీసీ వలన షాక్ ఉంటుంది, ఏసీ వలన షాక్ ఉంటుంది. అయితే మనం అబ్జర్వ్ చేసే డీసీ కరెంట్స్ అన్ని కూడా జస్ట్ టార్చ్ లైట్ లో ఉన్న సెల్స్ నుంచి వచ్చే ఎలక్ట్రిక్ కరెంట్, వాటిని మనం హోల్డ్ చేస్తాం కాబట్టి దానివల్ల మనకి షాక్ ఏమి ఉండదండి. అది కూడా 100 volts 200 volts అట్లా తీసుకున్నాం అనుకో, డెఫినెట్లీ డీసీ కరెంట్ కూడా షాక్ కొడుతుంది. కాకపోతే ఎఫెక్ట్ అనేది దేని వల్ల ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందంటే బికాస్ ఆఫ్ వెన్ ఎవర్ ఆ డీసీ వోల్టేజ్ అండ్ ఏసీ వోల్టేజ్ బోత్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్, దెన్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ఏసీ వోల్టేజ్ ఓన్లీ ఎఫెక్ట్ విల్ బి మోర్. ఓకే రైట్. నౌ ఈ హిస్టెరిసిస్ లాస్ తర్వాత ఇవన్నీ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత దీంట్లో ఈ చాప్టర్ అయిపోయిందండి ఆల్రెడీ. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ దీనికి రిలేటెడ్ కొన్ని ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది, అది డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. దట్ ఈస్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ అడ్వాన్స్ ఆల్సో, మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓ ప్రాబ్లం చేద్దాం.
సార్ ఒకసారి హిస్టరీస్ లాసెస్ ఉంచరా?
ఎక్కడ ఉంది? ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, ఇది అరేంజ్ చేసేసి సార్.
ఓకే అటువైపు.
దీనికి అడ్వాన్స్ లో కూడా ఇవేనండి కాన్సెప్ట్స్. దీంట్లో అడ్వాన్స్ డిఫరెంట్ గా ఏం లేవు. అడ్వాన్స్ కూడా ఇవే, ఇంకా ఇవే దీంట్లో ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అంతే. దీంట్లో కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఎక్స్ట్రా ఏం లేవు, అడ్వాన్స్ కూడా ఇవే కాన్సెప్ట్స్. సిద్ధార్థ్, ఓకే అరేంజ్ చేసేయచ్చు ఇది కూడా.
ఎస్ సార్.
One important problem, important for advance.